Jay here, Stretford Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm not outside Old Trafford. I'm not in the studio. I'm not in my kitchen. We're here in Los Angeles giving you the news a little bit later. Loads of Manchester United news to get through. So make sure you are hitting like, share, and subscribe. We'll be cracking on with it. We're going to be talking about Noussair Mazraoui. What is the latest on him? Also, a little bit of fallout from the game yesterday. That odd game where Manchester United played Arsenal like we did last season and then had penalties at the end. As always, though, injury issues with Manchester United, so I have a little bit of an update on that. Plus, the manager is asking us not to judge new signings, or not even a new signing, certain signings too harshly, who had a disappointing season last season, so we'll get into all that. Should we start with Noussair Mazraoui? Because that's the one everyone wants to talk about. That's the one that's doing the rounds. That's the one that seems like it's most likely to happen, so we'll get into it. Now, Santi Ona, who's a journalist, I think he writes for Foot Mercato, he's gone quite big on this. He's done a tweet basically saying that a verbal agreement has been reached over the signing of Mazraoui. Now, with Ona, he's a journalist for Foot Mercato. He's got around 295,000 followers on Twitter, not that I'm counting it, or X, if you want to call it that, because that's its new name. Now, he's one of those ones where he's not quite a here we go, where he speaks about, you go, well, that's it, that's set in stone, then that's happening, and he's not quite a let's just completely dismiss him. I'm a little bit wary sometimes, because I've noticed on his X, he has had a community note for saying that basically Kylian Mbappe plays for Real Madrid now, which isn't true, but he has had some stories where he's gone with it, and you go, okay, yeah, that has turned out to be true, or he seems to know what he's on about there, and obviously when someone's got quite a big following, you do tend to notice what they say and give him a little bit of credit. So we'll have to wait and see whether he's true on this one, but it seems like that is edging forward. Now, a big sort of fly in the ointment for this deal seems to be what is going to happen with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and this is being echoed by Fabrizio Romano, who's talking about the facts as well. He's tweeted about the fact that, look, Mazraoui wants to join United. United want him. Terms basically aren't an issue between the player and the club, and it's going to have to wait and see, though, can Manchester United bring him in based on what's going to happen with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. The latest on Aaron Wan-Bissaka is that he could be heading to West Ham. It's whether he wants to go to West Ham. We had it the other day that there was a potential swap deal with Denzel Dumfries for Aaron Wan-Bissaka with Inter Milan. That seems to have gone off the table or to have cooled. Whether that's going to happen now seems highly unlikely, but there could still be a move where Aaron Wan-Bissaka goes to West Ham, and with the money from that helps to fund some other bids for Manchester United. It's not just Noussair Mazraoui that United are looking at as well, Noussair Mazraoui, I should say. It's also Ligt. Now, they're both represented by the same agent as well, so that could help. I mean, they're both represented by the same agent, they're both the same club. Is that going to make it easier, or is that make it more difficult? I'm not so sure. Get involved in the chat in the comments and let me know what you think. But it does feel like of all the deals, this one is moving forward. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a bit gutted. I know I've been doing Joe's head in with my Aaron Wan-Bissaka sales pitch, as he calls it. He caught me yesterday in the mix zone just mithering people about how Aaron Wan-Bissaka shouldn't be sold and how we need to keep him, and how Manchester United wouldn't have any trophies under Eric Ten Hag if it weren't for Aaron Wan-Bissaka marking Alan Saint-Maximin, and also doing the same with Jeremy Doku in the Wembley finals. But it seems Eric Ten Hag and Manchester United feel a little bit differently. And let's be honest, if he's only got a year left on his deal and he isn't signing a new one, and the manager never really quite seems to want Wan-Bissaka, does it? He's used him, he brings him on, he started him, but it does feel like if everyone's fit, that back four doesn't feature Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It's Luke Shaw on the left, and it's Diogo Dalot on the right. There was a time when those two, Diogo Dalot and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, there was a bit of a debate going on as to who would be the number one right back. That seems to be fully settled now. That is a bit of an issue, because if you're Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I think he 26 years old, 25, 26. 1 year left in your deal, you probably want to play first team football, so it looks like he's going to be heading out the door. The question is it going to be Mazraoui that's coming in, or is it going to be someone else? I would say Mazraoui, but let's wait and see what happens, because at the moment it's all sort of verbal agreements is the latest one, and agreements and terms and stuff getting there, but not quite a here we go. When we get a here we go, or when we get any updates where we know it's going to happen, then we will 100% give you the breaking news. Don't forget as well, because of the time difference, sometimes news is being a little bit different, but we're always going to let you know on socials, and we're always going to go live as and when we can. We've always got you covered on Stretford Paddock, so make sure you are hitting like, share, and subscribe. I tell you who else has got you covered. Manscaped. They've got the Ultra 5.0 package that has been released. When you think Manscaped can't go any higher, when you think the 4.0, that's it. That's the pinnacle. That's the zenith. You're not going to get any better than that. And why would you? Because it's perfect. Well, Manscaped improve on perfection. And thanks to us, well, thanks to them really, using the code Paddock Tour, you can get 20% off and free shipping. So not only do you get the Lawnmower 5.0 with the two, count them, two interchangeable skin-safe blades, you also get the Shed Travel Bag. You get the Weed Whacker for your nose and ear hair. Men of a certain age, like my age, you need a bit of that. You get the Crop Preserver, you get the Ball Toner, you get the Boxer Briefs, you get all that good stuff. You get the Shed Travel Bag to put it in so you can get off the coach and give a thumbs up to the cameraman like you're part of the squad. So using the code Paddock Tour, you get 20% off and free shipping. So you don't have to mess around with different razor blades and, oh, I'm going to use the torch on my phone to give me a light. No, you don't need any of that. You've got the Lawnmower 5.0, which does all that good stuff, has you covered, has the skin-safe technology, has the interchangeable blades. You've got the Shed Travel Bag, you've got the Crop Preserver, the Ball Toner, the Boxer Briefs, the Weed Whacker. You've got everything you could need. So make sure you're using the code Paddock Tour, yeah? I always say this, yeah? When you think of your testicles, when you think of your balls, think of us, yeah? We have got you covered with Manscaped and Below the Waist Grooming. A big thank you to them for sponsoring this podcast and the tour. Paddock Tour, 20% off and free shipping. Let's get to back some Manchester United news, because we had this game, didn't we, against Arsenal. One of the most bizarre games ever, and it follows on from the other bizarre game last season in New Jersey, where we have a game of football, right? Yeah, we've all played football. We like that. There's a game. At the end of the game, it's a friendly. You've got a win or a loss or a draw, whatever. That's fine. However, no matter what the result is, we then have these penalties, which is a bit odd. Because, listen, anyone who watches this channel knows I don't watch penalties. I can't watch penalties. I think it's a jinx. It's just a weird little football life. I'll watch these because they're meaningless. And I did. And United won on penalties. And I'll tell you this. I've been watching football for a long time. And I know at the end of the game, if there's penalties, whichever team scores the most penalties has won the game. That is how it has always been. So, obviously, Manchester United win. That's how I'm looking at it anyway. But, unfortunately, it was bigger news than just who scored penalties in this absolutely meaningless friendly, in the fact that there was injuries. And the two injuries happened. I was chatting to Jojo in the game, and he said, it's probably the two players, not that you'd ever want to pick, but the players you'd least like to get injured, or the most devastating injuries in terms of which players it was Lenny Yoro, who's obviously a new signing. He's wanting to impress. He had an ankle injury. Laurie Whitwell was writing about this for the New York Times, and he said he's not the only one, but a few were saying it, and he was highlighting it and saying it looks like it was an ankle issue. And then with Rasmus Højlund, who scored a very good goal, everyone's buzzing. He gets a hamstring injury, and it's just one of those, like, what is going on? Because Rasmus Højlund played basically every game for Denmark in the Euros, and he was running himself into the ground. He was injury-free. Comes back to Manchester United, has like half an hour or whatever it was, and all of a sudden his hamstring's playing up. Now, a lot of people, myself included on socials, were talking about the pitch. It didn't look great. It looks like a bit wavy, a bit bobbly, which is not what you want to see Manchester United players playing on. I don't know if it's the pitch. I don't know if it's this curse that Manchester United seems to have. Something is going on. But again, we've got these injuries. We haven't really got a clear sort of view and picture as to how serious these injuries are, what is going to happen. Ideally, you'd want them back immediately. I mean, we've got the friendlies over here. Yes, I want fans to be able to see the players. It's nice if the fans over here can see some Manchester United first-team players. But coming up also, you've got the Charity Shield, or the Community Shield, as people under 40 probably call it. You'd like to see him back for that, wouldn't you? Playing against Manchester City, because that can sort of set your stall out. I know it's not like the most important game. It doesn't matter that much. But if you get a decent performance and a decent result against Manchester City again, people start going, okay, United mean business this season. This looks like they could be up to doing something. So we'll see what happens with them too. As always, we'll give you an update as what is going on. We heard from Johnny Evans after the game, and he was talking about how it's never nice to see redundancies at Manchester United, sort of telling you what you'd expect to see. Look, no one wants to see people losing the job, but Ineos are coming in with this plan, so just got to go with it and hope they know what they're doing, which they do seem to have a bit of a plan, a bit of a structure, moving the club forward, of course. So we'll have to wait and see when any developments on new signings, any developments in terms of injury updates, all that good stuff. Don't forget as well, there's a link in the description. Use the code Paddock Tour to get you 20% off and free shipping. I'm J Motty. This has been the Paper Talk in a pretty mild California, isn't it? It's like Eccles. Thanks for watching.